Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 85% podcast. My name is Beth Santos. I'm founder and CEO of Wonderful, and I cannot wait for the conversation that you're going to listen to today. We sat down with the winners of the Travel Startup of the Year Award at the 2026 Bessies. Their names are Amanda Kessy and her sister Asnath Kessy, and they started a really unique solution to the safari industry. It's a company called Stillwater Safaris, and let me just break this down for you because this is incredible. In a world where 85 to 90% of safari businesses are owned by expats, white people, and men, these are two Tanzanian sisters who have decided to just take their own path and start an incredible company that helps people really understand the culture and the experience of being in Tanzania. And also in South Africa, they do tours there too. They have gone through so many trials and tribulations to make this happen, but they have a really clear and special message, and that is to help more women get into this industry now so that we can really break the ceiling for everyone. I hope you like it. I know it's going to be such a great conversation for you to listen to, so check it out and catch you at the end.
Oh, thank you both for being here. I'm so excited to have this conversation. We have so many good things to talk about. For anyone who doesn't know Amanda and Asnath, they have a company that is very near and dear to my heart. They're sisters and co-founders of Stillwater Safaris, which is a woman-owned, family-led luxury safari company based in Arusha, Tanzania. They are representing a whole new face of Tanzanian tourism, women-led, rooted in local culture, uncompromising on quality. And they also were the winners of Travel Startup of the Year in this 2026 Bessie Awards, which, congratulations, that is like a phenomenal achievement. How did that feel when you found out you won?
Well, hi, Beth. Thank you so much for the warm introduction. And to be honest, if I'm to talk about how it all felt, it felt so unreal. Like it came at a perfect moment, and it's something that we are truly honored to have. And I must say, I and Asnath were not physically there, but we were watching, we were getting emotional together, like crying. And because, it was not a very easy start being in an industry whereby it's a very male-dominant industry. So being a woman, being women and trying to do something and then you seeing such recognitions, it felt like everything.
The award show happened at 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is like an ungodly hour. I mean, you weren't awake, right?
Exactly.
You just waited until you woke up in the morning to find out.
There's no way we would go to bed on that night. And
that's what I'm saying.
And the best part,
timing.
when it happened is that I was hosting a group of some amazing vegan people that joined us on a tour. So it was a 14-day tour. By then, when the awards were being mentioned, we were in Zanzibar. We were very close to the end of
My God.
Yeah. I remember going to my room and then I took a nap. I took a nap for like an hour and then my alarm was on and then I tuned in. And as I was watching it, I was like, oh my goodness, like I was getting cold feet all the time. And then when we heard our names there, my Asnath was also on the call with me. So we are like, we are like together, but not together. And then on the other end, our parents were on the call. The team, people from the team are also on the call. Like it was a whole big gathering.
Oh my gosh.
And I mean, when we just heard our names there for a minute, I thought like, okay, maybe I didn't hear well. Maybe I'm just overthinking this, But I remember I froze, but I could just hear our mom screaming to the top of her voice, I was like, wow. And
the neighbors thought something happened to our household.
Yes, because of the screaming.
Yeah, because
they're like,
it was 3 a.m. Yeah, because it's 3 a.m. and my mom went screaming. And my dad was like, the neighbors had to now ask what happened. Are they fine? Yeah.
My
but it was
God.
hectic hours. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the following morning now, when I walked out of my room, for a moment that day, to be honest, nothing could put me down. Like I felt like a superstar. I felt like I was on top of the world. Like you could tell me nothing. Because I remember walking out of my room feeling good. I was looking good. We were doing a cooking class. And then we were driving from Stone Town tour. Oh, no, sorry, we were driving from Stone Town. We had a tour now on the previous day. So this day we were going to for a cooking class and then just to relax at a property by the beach. So that morning, every time I walked through, I walked across anyone from the group, they screamed like, you won, well done, congratulations. And when I got to that lobby, I remember that moment. It felt like I was literally on top of the world because now there was so many people there and everyone was like, congratulations, putting their hands together. Yeah, but to be honest, it was a beautiful feeling. And we are so honored. Like, we do not have words that could express the feeling that we all had, not just us, but even the staff that were with me in Zanzibar at that time. They were like, yes, we did it. We're doing a good thing. We did it. Because everyone was like crossing fingers, hoping for the best. So really, it was an amazing time. Yeah.
I love this story. I did not know any of that. What a cool, it must have felt so special. I think, though, my favorite part is the part that Asnath told about the neighbors having to call your parents to make sure that everything was okay, because that is hilarious. But you know what? It also kind of is like an example of the community that they have around them, too, that would even happen. You've got neighbors knocking on the door being like, are you all right? It's 3 a.m. Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah.
I love that. Well, it's so great to have you. And I think, what you're building this at such a special time, I think, in the travel industry where people are really looking for more immersive and thoughtful travel experiences. And I want to talk about that. But before I do, I want to make sure that everyone gets a better understanding of what it is that you're building. So let's talk about your story. Your 2 sisters that started a travel company focused mostly on safari tourism in Tanzania. You're both local to Tanzania. And I know when we had written about this on the Wonderful blog, we had noticed a couple of interesting statistics, which I wanted to share with everyone. 10% of safari companies worldwide are led by women, 10%. So we're talking like the show is 85%, right? We're talking about 85% of travel decisions are made by women, but the representation is not there. When you look globally at safari tourism, 90% of safari companies are run by men. 15% are Black owned. So when you're thinking about the safari industry, it's basically a white expat led industry. And I have to imagine that had to come into play of like why you both decided, okay, we're going to step up and do this. Can you talk a little bit about what prompted you to start this business?
I think I can start a little bit with our history, as in our dad used to do the business. He used to run a tour company. That was his bread and butter. So we saw him since childhood, us growing up and everything. But it was quite interesting. All the tour companies, the guides were male, everybody in the tourism industry. So we always thought it's a male thing. And growing as a child, like, you don't think anything further about it, but just knowing it's a man's business. It can be, there was no way that we would have thought it's something that my mom could have done or a woman could have done. But his friends were also in the business. Anybody else in the tourism was male, either an uncle. So we saw it through it, and it was only male dominated. My sister is a banker, quantity surveyor by profession. We studied obviously something way different from, we didn't go into tourism. It's the knowing, as in, we wanted something to give back. And being a family of 3 girls, we're 3 girls. Amanda is the oldest, I'm the second, and we have a little sister.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, yeah. So we're 3 girls.
Wait, 3 A's? Oh my gosh, I love that. Yes. Amanda, Asnath, and Anita.
And our dad is A. So we are daddy's girls. We really wanted something to hold, to hold the name, and also something to have that also embeds what my dad did. So we're like, what is something common that we are? And it's been 10 years in the making. Me and Amanda have been speaking, let's find something. So we did brainstorm so many different things, but it's so funny that we never thought about tourism. Then one day, and I think it's because of Amanda's job, that she worked in a department that dealt with the people who do tourism as a banker. She was like, do you know, people just come and open companies. They have no much knowledge about it, but they start and the companies grow. I see how they grow and everything. Why can't we do this? And then we always felt like everybody living in the town in Arusha, everybody in any family has a relation. If it's not a god, they work somewhere in that tourism. So we also felt it's oversaturated. And then we came, and I remember Amanda told me the sun is big enough to shine on everybody. So we will also get our customers.
You said that? Like you literally said those words?
Amanda was the one who told me.
Amanda, are you a poet? Like, who just says stuff like that out loud? The sun is big enough to shine on everybody?
Everybody.
It is.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, cool. So we will also get the part of sunlight, no matter how many, we will also get, which will be sufficient for us. Then I was like, let's start. We started brainstorming names. Should we do this? And I'm like, for this to work, one has to leave the job force and actually focus on it. And then with me living in and being based in South Africa, so it made sense for Amanda to do the jump. But then now she was a new mom. She has 2 little kids. So, and then having to be at a job, you have a constant income, a monthly income. Then she needed to take that leap of faith and actually just leave and start and believe that this will work. Yeah. And then we brainstormed names and we started. It was really almost like a joke, but I think the leap of faith that my sister had, and it was like, you know what, today I'm resigning. I think that is what made it go, because we had talked about it for such a long time. But when you have a backup, like, you don't push so much on because you're like, okay, I will get something. But now Stillwaters was it. Stillwaters was the bread and butter for her family. We had to get it going.
It had to work.
It had to work. We started, but like the moment she left the bank and she now fully immersed in it is when we started to see change. And I think it started with just 2 clients. And with those 2 clients, it was a referral system. Those are the ones who kept giving us clients. I remember we even got clients who did a tour in Tanzania and then came again in South Africa, because I also do tours here in South Africa.
Okay.
And the ball started rolling and they were like, okay, yes, let's get serious and start growing. But it was not an easy journey.
We got so many you cannot do's, not seeing many women doing this. So the moment they see a woman try to step up, they're like, but wait a minute, just for men. How come this woman is trying to do it? How come these women are trying to do this, So for them, it's just like, you cannot do it because they've not seen it done yet, So we were even having a conversation the other day and we were saying like, it's important to do these things because it does not only make or benefit us and the people around us, people working for us and stuff like that, but also it could motivate or inspire any other women out there trying to do something in a very male-dominant industry as well, just to come out and if they want to do it, just do it.
I want to take us back to the early days a little bit, and then let's kind of fast forward because I'm loving these insights that you're sharing. But thinking about this moment when you decided to start this business, I'm so curious, like, what did your dad say? Because your dad had been in this business. So I imagine, like, what did he tell you when you were like, you know what, we're going to start our own safari company? Was he excited or was he scared or was he like, don't do it, it's terrible? Or was he like, go forth, my young girls? Like, what did he say to you?
We are daddy's girls and we know for sure anything, come rain, come storm, we've got their backs. Like they're always cheering for us. So I am the one who faced him and told him that we're doing this. And the one thing he said was that he is so proud, he is so excited, and anything, he's got our back. So those were the only words he said. So I know every day, every time when he keeps seeing how the business is growing, how businesses keep coming in, he gets even more excited and proud.
It sounds like they've both continued doing that, and that's amazing. I have to imagine that he was scared. I have to imagine that he was like, I've gone, like, this is not an easy industry. I've gone through this. Now I'm putting my own daughters through this, and they're up against a lot because everyone's telling them they can't do it.
That's what That's what we thought would have happened, but we are even so grateful that it did happen that way. Like he just told us that you've got my back. You can do this and keep going. If you go to my mom now and tell her that you wanna do something but you don't think you can do it, she's gonna say, "So you wanna do this? Yes, but you don't think you can do it? Yeah. But some other people are doing this thing that you want to do and they are doing it right. Yes. And these people, tell me about them. Are they any different from you? Do they have three eyes or four? Do they have 5 hands? Do they have like what's the difference between you and them? They are human beings like you are. What is it that is so special about them that makes you feel like you cannot do anything?" So you should never tell my mom that you cannot do anything, because she's gonna be like, how come other people are doing it? What is the problem here? If you want to do something, so that's how we've always been doing it. Like we want to do something, we go for it. So it's like we keep motivating each other, we keep inspiring each other, we keep telling each other that you can do it, you've got this, I've got your back. We are believers, we are Christians, so we believe our parents pray for us, we pray as well for ourselves and for them. So at least we have that support system that comes from our families, and more again from our husbands. Both I and Asnath are blessed with partners that support our journey, support whatever we are building. Yes, they know it's something different, it's a different niche, it's something that probably they didn't see it coming. But even for me to have the leap of faith of saying, okay, now I'm stepping off my employer from my employment and starting off something, it's because of also the support that I got from my husband, like, you can do this, go for it, go chase your dreams. So sometimes we just sit together and we're like, you know what? No, we are grateful for these people, because otherwise, for most people in our cultures, it could have been different.
We must say also, having our dad who has been in the industry, we have a bit of a cheat code.
Sure.
Like at times we're not sure about anything, like, are these guys taking us for a ride? So we call Daddy.
So great.
So I think
he's your best advisor.
A blessing we have. Yeah. Yes, we are like, we got this race, and these guys, is this how it goes and everything? We did not start from nothing. We had a stepping stone, as in like, of a man who has had experience in that and everything. So, and then also Arusha is a small town and everything. Like the people who know, like, these are somebody's daughters, and there's also that thing is like, you can't cheat them. The dad has been in the industry, so they know we will go to him. And I was like, is this how it's done? And because you find that so much, which is unfortunate, everybody's trying to make something out of somebody. So if you're new, you don't have enough information. Yeah, something that goes for $100, that service can be given to you to $250, and you think that's the going price, and there goes it. And you know how that affects, because that it's given as, yes, it's a markup of $150. That markup is what we're going to charge our client, which now will look expensive. You see, the counter effect and everything. And I'm like, we can't sell more, because they're like, okay, we are expensive. So it's that, which we also still experience that. And it's something that I think is a challenge, which are still trying to figure out, getting our pricing right, getting the right vendors. If you are new in the industry, to find partnerships with the right vendors, getting good pricing. So this award is also a blessing, because like that has people trust you more, knowing that you have won the Bessie Award. So you are recognized. It's something that we really don't take for granted, and it has helped us. And we pray and we hope that this will also encourage other women to get into the industry and we say it, we want more women. We are not gatekeepers. We want more women to join in the industry, and not only maybe like directors or owners of companies, like we're looking more guides, more female drivers, more female translators, because there's a lot that you can get involved with within the tourism industry.
What's making your tours different? I mean, you could have said, hey, Dad, I want to join the business and, do this with you, but you didn't. You decided you wanted to start your own company. What is different that you're offering that maybe you haven't seen in the safari industry?
I think what makes us stand out is that, unlike many companies, we do not sell just itineraries. We customize itinerary to every client. We believe that every client or every person that comes to us is different. when we start like advising the client, let's say a client comes in and they want to come to Tanzania on a safari, we don't just say, hey, this is a 5-day safari, this is a 10-day safari, have a look and let me know which one works for you. No. We first ask for a meeting with this person. We get to understand who this person is. If they're traveling as a group, what this group is all about. Is it about wellness? Is it about vegan? Like we recently hosted a vegan group I was telling you about. We are soon going to be hosting a group of women in photography. These are all women photographers.
Fun.
Who are going to be joining this group. So we tailor-made the itineraries based on who exactly is coming, right? And then again, because we are on the ground, no one could know about our country better than we do. So say someone comes and they're like, we just want to be on a safari, but they do not know anything. They only know perhaps of the Serengeti, but there's so many other national parks in Tanzania. So we'll guide them accordingly. And one of the most important things that we usually like to include in every itinerary is the cultural experience part. Because we feel like this part is mostly forgotten, but again, very important. When I get feedbacks, mostly from the clients in the end of the trip, their takeaway is always the cultural part. Like, hey, with the recently we've been doing clean water projects whereby we visit we visit a place whereby we get the ceramic water filter buckets, and then we go to a village, we pinpoint a village that has not been reached, that people are still drinking water from the same spots that the animals are drinking from. So we go there, we handle them these there's the ceramic water filters, and the joy that comes to both the receivers and the givers. So they talk to the locals, at least they get to see them actually drinking from that water. Pregnant women, old women, children, name it, So it's a reward. It's a reward. It's a beautiful feeling. Yeah.
This, I think one of the things that I love all these examples, and I think a couple of the things that's really standing out for me. One, of course, is the fact that you're very intentionally investing in other women-owned businesses and kind of citing that, like not just thinking about, women-owned safari companies, but also like women translators, women guides, women, any kind of supplier. But also one thing that really stands out that I think is interesting is, and fun fact about me, I used to work in international development before I went into like the travel world. And in the international development world, one of the things that we talk about a lot is how investing in women has systematically been a better way to invest in a local economy. And there's statistics about that. Like there's a study from the Harvard Kennedy School that said that women will reinvest up to 90% of their income into their families and their communities, but only 30 to 40% for men. So like when you give money to a woman, you are directly impacting a local economy. And that goes for women-owned businesses, that goes for hiring women. And I think you're kind of, without saying it so directly, I think that's kind of what you're also saying too, is that, this is an industry that a lot of people have kind of in the past sort of been like, okay, I'm going to go to Tanzania, I'm going to go do my safari, and then I'm getting out. And what you're suggesting is a much more immersive experience, that not just about going to a place and having that safari experience, but is also really about understanding and embedding yourself in the culture and immersing yourself and getting to know the place and getting to know the people. And I think that makes a very big difference. What do you think it will take for women to be more involved in the safari industry? What will it take? What do we need from the industry to see that happen?
Seeing more female-owned companies is one. Like seeing is believing. And then remove the barriers that for the women, as in creating environments where women are welcome, from like the different policies or organizations for tourism within Tanzania and everything. They should be more open, like you see, because it starts from the ground, as in like training. Going back to the university, the training centers for the guides, and like the percentages is low. So you cannot tell me like there you have 90% is male people who are joining into wildlife or tourism industry. And then they come into the industry. Obviously, you won't have more women to employ. Like even us, we struggle to look for women to employ, but that is not given. Even from schools, like telling girls that they can be in this industry. It's not just a male. So you need to start from the grassroots. You need to start from the foundation, as in the air that this is covered. This is not a male only dominant industry. So you start from the grassroots and then coming up. Because like you cannot start in the end, because like in the end, but people are coming out of college from tourism and everything, but you have more males than females. So how is that going to help me? Even I want to employ more women, but no, there are no more women with this expertise. They're mostly male. So I need to go back to the foundation.
What's keeping women from going into those schools right now? Is it just culture? Is it money?
Like this.
When are you going to start speaking at schools? When are you starting your speaking circuit?
Right? We should. Yeah, we should.
That's a good idea, Beth. We should look into that. In the culture here, there's some things that are clearly known that these are for men, these are for women. Like this is a man's job, this is a woman's job. That's why you'd still find to date if I'm driving around cruiser or I'm with the female guys we're driving around. It's a showstopper. Like people will be like, hey, it's a woman. You know, it's still a thing. So, yes, they're cheering because they're like, oh wow, it's a woman. You know, the kids will stop around and just to make sure they're seeing what they're seeing. Are they seeing right? Is it truly a woman driving that safari vehicle? It's not a man. So it still comes as a shock or as a surprise, I would say, but it's still also with the culture thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny you say that, because in my very early days of Wonderful, I was living in Sao Tome and Principe, which is a 2-island nation off the west coast of Africa, off the coast of Gabon. I was working at a middle school and I was teaching computer science. You're talking about people kind of like laughing and cheering you on when you're driving. That was my experience riding my motorcycle. People would laugh and they would go, motoqueira, which means motorcycle taxi. They're like, woman motorcycle taxi driver, pick me up, you know? One would call it benign sexism. It wasn't like malintent. It wasn't mean, but it definitely highlighted the fact that this was an unusual sight.
Yes.
And not something that people saw every day. And it stood out. And I think, to your point, like the uniqueness of that, we have to make this less unique. You know, once we can make it more commonplace, that's when this barrier starts to break down. Is people realize, oh, this isn't just, the one. You don't want to be the one woman running a safari company. You want to be one of many. And that's when you know that the ceiling has really broken. For anyone who's listening, who's thinking, maybe I should start my own business, whether they live in Tanzania, whether they're in South Africa like you are, Asnath, whether they want to go into the safari industry or just travel and tourism in general, what would you say to that person?
The sun is too bright to shine on everyone. The secret is just to start. You know, starting is always the craziest part. When you just start, things will align, the stone will start rolling, and then life will keep happening. So just start. That's what I'll say.
Just start
with whatever you have. Just start. And then you learn as you go. But start. Do not delay the start.
Thank you both so much for taking the time today. I really appreciated having this conversation. I can't wait. We've got a wonderful trip coming up with you.
Yeah.
And we have a second one. We have a second one that we're working on because that sold out so fast.
Oh.
Yep, we do. So I think there's a long relationship to come. And I really look forward to being able to support you all, and just a huge fan of your work. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much, Beth. We appreciate
you, Beth.
To all the listeners, please check us out on our website. Sign up on the second group trip coming from Wonderful to Tanzania. And you can always learn more from our social media handles, our Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And we are looking forward to welcoming you all to Tanzania and showing you all about everything our beautiful country has to offer.
Amazing. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, Beth.
Well, everyone, the sun is bright enough for all of us. I don't know about you, but if there is one takeaway, that is absolutely it. I loved having this conversation with two women who are so changing the landscape, not just for the safari industry, but for women business owners worldwide. The sun is bright enough to shine on all of us. So if you are thinking about that new opportunity or that new business, if you're wondering if you're unique enough, if you're special enough, if you're different enough, you absolutely are. I hope this episode changed the way you see the world. I hope we can get more women in travel, more women included in the stories that make travel special. I'm looking forward to catching you on our next episode. We'll be talking with another incredible Bessie Award winner. Stay tuned. And until then, keep adventuring, be safe, and have fun. Thanks for being here. Well, everyone, the sun is bright enough for all of us. I don't know about you, but if there is one takeaway, that is absolutely it. I loved having this conversation with two women who are so changing the landscape, not just for the safari industry, but for women business owners worldwide. The sun is bright enough to shine on all of us. So if you are thinking about that new opportunity or that new business, if you're wondering if you're unique enough, if you're special enough, if you're different enough, you absolutely are. I hope this episode changed the way you see the world. I hope we can get more women in travel, more women included in the stories that make travel special. I'm looking forward to catching you on our next episode. We'll be talking with another incredible Bessie Award winner. Stay tuned. And until then, keep adventuring, be safe, and have fun. Thanks for being here.